Everybody, it's
What's
Aisha.
up, what's up?
It's Amber.
Hey.
So, this is the third part.
Third. Right?
Third.
Yeah.
Yep. Third part of our scary stories to tell in the dark. Kind of like review. So,
And analysis.
And analysis. We talk about
Commentary, feelings, emotions about the film.
some deep connections.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
We take our horror serious.
We do take our horror serious. So, anyway, the red spot.
Yeah. Next monster in the movie.
Next monster.
The nasty zit.
So, Ruth, one of the main characters, his sister, I think she's older. I feel like she's older, who knows? She's in a school play, and she has this zit.
Oh, and again, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling about the costuming, but like she had this adorable outfit on.
Cute dress.
Oh my
Pink
gosh,
and
it looked like a doll.
it was so pretty.
Oh, it was precious.
Yeah.
So I just props to the designers on that.
Yes, it was so nice. And she was wearing this dress, and she got like the zit on her.
And this stupid mean girl is like, oh honey, you have to take care of what's on your face.
Yeah, she was like, really, like, it's so bad. So anyway, so she goes to the bathroom, and
She's really
like,
freaking out.
Yeah, and she's like poking at it, and she's like, it keeps getting bigger, and I'm like really freaked out.
It looks really gross. I mean, to be honest, I mean, if something like that ever happened to me, I'd be in urgent care ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
And then so she's poking at it, and all of a sudden, a leg of a spider, like a hair, like a hair, like comes out.
Freakish.
And she's like, oh,
what the hell is that?
She's like, that's not normal.
What am I seeing?
And so she makes the wise decision to pull it out.
Plucky.
Yeah. And oh my god. So she, as soon as she's doing this, like a new story's written in the book, The Red Spot, and they race to warn her about what's gonna happen because they're like, oh no, like we already know what happened to Augie. We don't want anything to happen to this girl.
Right. So they're like kind of able to shut it down, and she kind of like
She's the only one.
yeah,
too.
she's the only one. She like lives through her nightmare.
Trauma.
Yeah.
But she's traumatized. So they like
Basically, like spider, like it was like there was an egg in her face, and like spiders hatch out of her face, and they're just like crawling all over her body and her hair, on her face, on like everything.
there's all over her.
She's just in the creepy crawl.
Yeah, she's just freaked the hell out. So she's taken to the hospital, and she's traumatized, but she's alive.
Right.
At least there's that.
So yeah, I think she's the only one
She's the only one.
because they were able to shut it down.
Well,
kind of.
besides Ramon.
Right. Him too. Yeah,
Him
he
too.
was, yeah.
And I mean, technically, Stella did have hers.
What was hers again?
It was the haunted house.
Oh,
That was
right.
her story.
Right. Yeah, she
So-
confronts the albino chick.
At the very end.
Yeah.
So anyway, the next one. So that girl goes to the hospital, and we don't really see her again. Then the next one is the pale lady. So they decide that they're gonna go to the hospital and try and figure out more about this Sarah Bellows. Like, was she a witch? Like, what was going on?
Right. And they're like
then-
hunting for the records on
Yeah,
this
they
chick.
want to know who she is, what's going on. And so they end up listening to a couple of like her therapy session tapes, and her brother was actually her doctor.
Right.
So she's like trying to tell them on the tape, she's like, I didn't kill these children, you know, you poisoned the water. And
Right.
talking to her brother, and her brother.
So really her family was evil.
her family was totally
And she
evil.
was a victim of her environment. And they did like electric shock therapy on her. And like they have video footage of her being like, you know, like shocked by it.
It was like bad. So anyway, so she was just like a victim in the whole thing, and they blamed her for everything, and it was just horrible.
Yeah, it was sad.
It said the family's mill had been poisoning the town's water with mercury, killing children. And he was doing that, and she was trying to like tell everybody that I didn't do it, my family's doing it, but he was like, by giving her the electric shock therapy,
They're like trying to
her
like
in the basement.
make her shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chuck is separated from Stella and Ramon because somebody starts talking about the red room, and he's like, oh, I had a dream about this, like a nightmare. I want nothing to do with this. I don't want to go. And so he ends up separating from the other two, which is a horrible thing to do, by the way. Like, you never split up in horror movies.
It's just
I don't know why they always
It's
do
just
this.
so classic. But so he's wandering through these like hallways that are glowing red with like
it's like the exit
like that
signs.
meep, like you got that whole like siren going too with the flashing lights.
And so this lady, this like humongous fat naked lady.
Right, she's kind of like obese and she has a really big round head and like this really huge smile and she's just like smiling and her hair's really long and stringy and she's just like huge smile and like he keeps trying to run and escape from her
and she's like everywhere.
Like dead end. Like every place he goes, she needs him. And so there's no way out. And then at the end, he finds out that there's like clones of this thing, and then they like suck him up. Like they
hug him, and then he like goes into them.
Yeah, it engulfs him, and so
it's gross.
And then he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. And then
so another one bites the dust.
The only thing left of him is his pen. He had like a pen that got dropped, and that's how they found like where he had been.
And they're like, oh, we're too late. He's dead.
Yeah, he's
gone. We don't know. He could be in a different dimension. You know?
Yeah. So the police chief shows up and reveals that Ramon is a runaway who's trying to avoid being drafted into the military. So that's why he was where he was. He was trying to hide. So she's like, well, why didn't you tell me, Stella?
Yeah.
And he was like, I just, my brother came home in pieces from like Vietnam, and I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. It would have been such a hard time.
Yeah. Oh, so hard. So the next one is Me Tai Goatee Walker.
Yes. This is like the weird zombie thing. And
this is what you're talking about.
It was pretty well put together because they added some different elements to this thing. First of all, it was fast. So it wasn't like slow and like, it was more, I would almost, like, it was kind of a hybrid between like a zombie and an animal. Because it had an animalistic movement.
Right.
And like what I loved about it too is that I love like when things bend weird and crack and like they like it had cool movement to it. And its body could fall apart.
Right. So anyway, they're at the police station and it ends up falling down the chimney because that's the story, and it's like a head and arms and legs and nothing's connected.
Right.
And it connects all together. It kills the cop, the sheriff that's keeping them like in their cells. And then it goes after this Ramon because he had heard this story when he was younger and he was scared of that. That was his like own personal demon. Stella manages to get the keys from the body of the cop and unlocks them both.
Right.
And then he takes a car and he manages to lure this thing away so that she can get back to the house.
To get the book back.
To get the book back to the house.
Put an end to it.
Go ahead and tell Sarah, look, you were tortured, you were, they did all these horrible things to you. It's not your fault. You were a victim, but you have to stop this.
Right.
And so, he was called the Jangly Man, and he was able to build himself up from like a whole bunch of different body parts.
Like he really kind of couldn't die.
Yeah, no.
Because his body falls apart and like puts itself back together.
It's kind of like you've seen like the goo where it will like go under doors and stuff like that. It's kind of like that.
It's a similar concept.
So as soon as she gets back to the house, she's pulled back in time and she witnesses the older brother doctor like, terrorizing Sarah. And then she encounters Sarah's ghost down in her like bedroom, like room that they locked her in. And Ramon hides in the house and he's like trying to get away
from the weird
jangly man.
Yeah.
And Stella like runs into Sarah Bellows as like a ghost or whatever, and she's like you were a victim.
She was really creepy too. She had like white eyes, like no black, no pupil. And then she was albino, so she had everything was like really white, and you kind of got like a dead vibe a little bit.
It was gross. It was scary.
She just looked a little bit funky,
And so she begins like reciting the real story of Sarah and says that she was victimized by her family and that turned her into a rage-filled monster. And then she promises to tell Sarah's real story if she stops killing people. And Sarah's like, okay, so write your story in my book in your blood. And so she does, and then she like screams in her face and
yeah,
everything's gone.
It really caught me off guard too. I was like, oh gosh, what was that? You know, because it's like this. It was high pitched,
like,
echoey,
and I wasn't like not necessarily expecting it.
Yeah.
So you know, who knows?
Yeah, it was just kind of unnerving.
So they disappear,
Uh-huh.
and then at the very end, Ramon finally enlists in the army.
Yeah, it was so sad, and I was bummed because him and Stella never kiss. And
no, they didn't.
Not even just a small little one, which really bummed me out. I mean,
yeah, there wasn't much in the love story.
No, I kind of wanted there to be like something special, but you know, it definitely left you hanging, like where there's got to be a sequel, and basically each of the characters is forced to face their nightmare or like their fear.
Yeah.
And then some of them survive and some of them don't. They get taken or
wherever.
killed.
We don't know. So at the end of the movie, Stella's with her dad and a recovered Ruth, the girl who like had the spider bite, and she was like recovering, and she was like, I want to find my brother. You know. So and then they were trying to figure out a way to bring Augie and Chuck back. So that was the whole thing.
Yeah, that's about it. I give it, I mean, like we said earlier, the movie rating was about a 3.5. I feel like it's pretty spot on. Like,
I agree.
At highest, maybe a 3.8. I really enjoyed the Scarecrow. Like,
if they had more backstory,
yeah,
I probably would have given it a 4.
And I feel like if it were rated R, it would have been better.
Yeah.
But
it was based off of kids' things, so they're not going to do that.
Right. So they have to keep it somewhat censored, but
yeah.
So if you've seen it, we hope that you enjoyed our feedback and our commentary and our thoughts about it. If you haven't seen it, this is a great way for you to know all about it without seeing it. So
right. Some people just, you know, I mean, the prices for movie theaters now.
It is stupid.
Okay,
so no, check this out. So we bought kid tickets because they're $5. The adult tickets are 10, and I'm not paying double price. No, no, it wasn't worth $20 to go see.
Yeah, no,
it was worth 10. So
yeah, well, and then that's not including like if you get a drink or
oh gosh, no, forget
or
the food.
anything else.
No, forget the food. You gotta bring your tote in, stuff things in your bra, like. You know what I mean? I mean, it's honestly getting ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
it's insane.
It was worth $10.
It was worth it.
Yeah, it wasn't worth 20 though. So everybody buy your kid ticks.
Yeah, if you can.
If you could sneak it, you know.
Yeah, we're still paying.
Yeah, we're not doing anything wrong.
No, we're fine.
We're paying citizens.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
So thank you for watching. I hope you guys like this.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Amber, for being
Love
here.
you. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.